Hey guys, Will King here. Today I'm still in Virginia Beach at Jackson Andrews job site, and today I have with me Rick. Rick is the senior project manager on this particular build and been working on it for about 3 years right
Yeah,
now.
yep.
So
Hard to
been
believe.
here a while
Yep.
and super familiar with it. But today we're looking at a deck that he's picked out some really neat systems for to go above this EPDM roof, and it's really fascinating. And I just thought it'd be cool to show people how these pedestal systems work, how their little joist, aluminum joist system works on top of that to just make it a total finished look with his handrail. So, Rick, if you don't care, man, tell me what we're looking
Yeah,
at.
so it was kind of several factors that got us to the point where we're at with the different systems we're using. But we knew we wanted to use a pedestal system with over the EPDM roof we had out here.
Hmm.
And then looking at different joist options, Eurotex, the company that makes the pedestals, um, they were able to provide a matching rail, aluminum rail that goes with it instead of any kind of wood,
Hmm.
with, even treated 15, 20 years down the road,
Right.
could degrade. Uh, Plus the straightness of the aluminum, you're not dealing with any
It's true.
humps and
Yeah.
crowns or whatever.
So
It's
you could
also pretty low
use the
profile.
wood joist or an option, but
You
you
could,
decided Eurotech makes the pedestals for that. Um,
with the matching rail.
with the matching.
Hmm.
Yeah. So I guess to back up first, let's talk about what are we standing on? What's below us
Yeah.
right now? This is
So we have an EPDM roof with sloped insulation underneath, tapered to two drains on this deck.
okay.
We wanted to keep everything draining internally, so
So
you
no
didn't have
outside gutters
you didn't
and
see any his outside
yeah,
gutters. Um,
and there's living space below
Partially,
us,
yeah,
right?
partially open below, partially living space. Um,
And then to get the deck on top of that for a finished, the pedestals are important because of you're having to make this perfectly level, and you can tell, man, you got all kinds of adjustments and micro adjustments to get
Yes,
this
yes, because everything's sloping.
perfect.
We got half of it sloping to this drain and half to that drain, so there was a lot to compensate for, but it
Yeah.
gives you a perfectly flat deck. One of the other factors with the EPDM, and just whenever you're doing rails, you've got typically penetrations through the
Hmm.
EPDM, and I found another product, which is this base plate here. It's a stainless steel plate underneath every one of our posts here. You basically run your EPDM roof. You mount this plate to it.
Through the roof, like
Yeah,
after the
through the
first
roof.
membrane's on,
Yep,
then
onto
that
your
goes
curb,
down.
and then it's a closed port here, which takes this uh, 7/8 threaded rod, and then once you set this, your roofer comes back and runs another piece of EPDM over it, seals it, and then you just cut out the port. The rod drops in, and so you have no penetration through your EPDM.
Man, and
Yeah.
that's like the biggest fear for me in commercial roofing applications with handrails is it's probably going to leak,
Yeah.
or
How do you
you're
mount
scared
it?
that it's
How do you
going to.
waterproof it?
And so
Yeah.
I don't know that I've seen a better system than what you just showed me here. And it seems like it's going to be really strong. I mean,
Yeah, it's
that's
pretty cool. The posts, these are actually slotted and set up for cable rails that
cable.
we planned, and Nil provided all that to us. And then we have the railing system fabricated locally. Drop the post over, you put a nut on and tighten it up, and you crank down on this bushing right here. It doesn't deflect the deck, and it's
Cool.
rigid.
And now the other side's already finished, right?
Yep.
Cool. I say we should jump over there and take a look because I want
Okay.
to really see how the finished product, especially with your rail systems and your cables, how that all ties in. So if
Yeah.
you're cool with it,
Yeah.
let's take off
Sounds
over
great.
there. All right.
Perfect.
All right, Rick, look at this deck, man.
Yeah.
This thing is crazy cool. Like, man, the whole deal, the way these composite boards are tied into the siding, this is one of the best looking outdoor balconies I think I've
Yeah.
ever
Thank
seen.
you. Yeah. Turned
So,
out great.
so this is the rail system you're talking about and how
Yep.
it all goes together. We just looked at the 7/8 rod you had
Yep.
coming up, and then so tell us how this goes together because it looks like it's all one piece, but
It does,
it's
yeah.
not, I'm sure.
So we work with a local fabricator that we've worked with for years for this
Mhm.
kind of stuff, and we kind of teamed up and like, all right, how do we want to go about putting this together? How's it going to assemble? But the way it came out is in a couple of sections. But they started with this lower, no cables are in it. We slide it over the post, drop it down. You tighten it down with all the nuts on top, and then this top rail is two pieces. So
Okay.
this top section came out as its own individual piece, and there's some mechanical fastening points underneath,
Underneath.
and that really helped tie everythtically together and
So you
strengthen
have
it
a
up.
two-piece top rail.
Yep.
So
And I actually
okay.
like the look that you end up
Yeah.
with. It's a little more architecturally pleasing.
It gives it a nice look for
Yeah.
sure. And it seems to be strong. I mean, that's That's incredible to be bolted down. Just those little
Yeah.
on the
So
7/8 rod.
our fabricator was very skeptical of the rods. We'd never done it
Yeah.
before. I'm like, I'm telling you, like I've seen it on their website. Like this is how you do it.
Yep.
So we did a full mock up, and
We're happy
sure
with it.
enough, yeah, it was good. And then we moved forward with it.
Now these are aluminum, obviously.
Yep, powder coated
and
aluminum.
You do, but you still have rubber grommets. We were actually talking. Jackson and I were talking recently about some of the steel handrails, maybe that you have inside, and about not using them outside. And he said even if you do, to use the rubber grommets. But man, I don't even trust that, because I feel like the second you use a steel post outside with cable rail and push that hole through it, you're going to end up with rust. You can't stop it. It'd be really tough to.
We talked through that, and that is a potential. You got stainless steel and aluminum,
Yep.
but this is from Feeney, and they recommend, a lot of people will skip the grommets.
Right.
But that is the recommended process to use those. You're separating the metals there, and
Well, you don't get the noise.
Yeah,
I've seen them
that as
before
well.
where you can really hear them moving around. So,
yeah.
well, man, excellent job. This looks really cool. I'm glad we
Cool.
got to see all the details. And I think one last thing, we got to show them the drain cover.
Yeah,
'cause
yeah.
I thought this is neat. Now, we saw on the other side the big
The internal
drains
drains, yep.
inside your EPDM roofing. So, but how do you clean them out and access
Right,
them? That's what I was thinking. I'm like, you're covering this up, but then I see
Yeah, so we made an access panel here that if you need to get in and clean the drains out, because pine needles, they find their way everywhere.
everywhere.
And if you do have a backup, we don't want to be taking deck boards up
Man.
to get in there.
That's incredible.
So yep.
Well, I think you guys have it all covered. So, all right, guys, I hope you learned a little bit today about this deck system we're standing on, and I hope you enjoyed it. I know I certainly have learned lots of things here in Virginia Beach this week. But just remember, iron sharpens iron. So just keep grinding, keep watching these videos, and we'll see you right here on The Build Show.